All right, let's do it live on a Thursday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. I am merely Beau. He is the great Z. Welcome in. How you living, buddy?
I'm doing well out there. Survived some torrential rain and downpour yesterday.
That was aggressive.
On the ride home, it was quite aggressive. It was quite
strong to quite strong.
It was a deluge, as I like to say. A good word for it. So
it was, yeah.
Yeah, and that kind of, leads into a busy day, I think, here in Berea, or busy couple days here at the Cross Country Mortgage Campus. We know Deshaun Watson is in the building today, and so it's we'll see how these things all unfold here in the next couple of days. But there's been reports online that there will be some type of a press conference tomorrow to kind of get this going, and I think hopefully be able to answer a lot of questions that people have, and perhaps new questions have arisen.
Yeah, there is a second grand jury that appears ready to convene as early as Friday. This reporting being done by the New York Times, among others.
Yep.
And this is I think from a second grand jury compared to the one that was already done. So a second one. This is a singular claim that was already known, is the way that I understand it.
Yeah.
And again, this is all in the last hour.
From a Brown spokesperson, which I guess in some ways I am.
I would say we are. Yes,
yeah,
I would think that would be.
We are. Yes. That this is a claim that was already part of the 22 civil claims that are against him. It took place in a different county than the Harris County, where 9 claims were brought in front of a grand jury, which decided not to pursue charges at that time or issue an indictment. This is in a different county. It's one claim that, as I said, was part of the 22, and the Browns were aware that this was going to happen. So, and that is the information that I have, and now these things will take their due course and place as they go to the grand jury, as you said, should be happening soon. And this is because it was in a different county, that is why it is brought to a different county's grand jury.
Yeah, and hey, look, guys, from Nathan and I's perspective, obviously there are certain things that we'll discuss, and then certain things where we can't. And frankly, when you start to get into what this could mean in terms of down the road next season, eligibility. I mean, that's not. We've had people on. Nobody knows anything about any of it.
Yep.
Unfortunately, there's no ground rules in terms of how this can play out. There's no timeline on it. This stuff doesn't play out to the NFL's timeline. It all happens organically. It happens through a court of law. It'll happen in the state of Texas. It's not something that you and I have really any insight into. And nor does anybody else, frankly, out there talking about it. Nobody has any clue.
I will just say that the fact that this is happening today is not something that is surprising to the Browns, nor did it. This is something that was known prior to their making their decision, all of their investigation, and their comfort that they gained through that investigation in Deshaun Watson. So I don't want people to think that this is a whole new thing that is, oh, man, maybe this was something that they were not aware of. That is not the case. This was in all of their calculations in the decision that was ultimately made for the Browns. And now there's a lot of reporting that Deshaun Watson has indeed passed his physical per league sources, and that's the final hurdle to making these trades complete.
So the thinking would be, from a timeline perspective, that he would be in the facility today, that there would probably be some time with coaches this afternoon.
Sure.
And then, from there's nothing else that we can tell you at this point. I mean, nothing we know in terms of what tomorrow will bring or anything like that. But that's just where we stand at this point. Right. And my hunch is that's how we will stay.
Yeah. It's new information in the sense that it has come out. It is not, again, new information to the Cleveland Browns or to Deshaun Watson. And so there's not anything new for us to comment on per se in that regard. I think anybody who wants to know kind of where we are, go back and listen to Monday's show. The first half hour of that is as comprehensive, I think, as it will get. That is our discussion of it from that standpoint. And we understand the very difficult and sensitive nature of this entire situation when you take a look at it from the off the field and these allegations from that side of it. And we've talked a little bit, not a ton, but a little bit about the football side of it, which is
pretty exciting, that part of it. Yeah, it's awkward. It is.
Yes.
I mean, you see this image of, I'll just say candidly, it's awkward because you see this image of him walking in, and you go back to saw the footage this morning, and you see him walking in, and I remember. I mean, there are a few college players that I enjoyed watching more than Deshaun Watson. He was I've said it before. I think he was the most consequential player of the 2010s in college football, one of the most consequential players ever in college football history in terms of what he did for Clemson, what he was the kind of the catalyst for the springboard of that program from one that was a regional brand to one that was a national brand and a powerhouse. And without him, it doesn't happen. He was the best player in 2 national title games back-to-back. One they lost closely to Alabama, another one they won in walk-off style with him at the controls. He was somebody in that draft who I remember in the lead-up to that draft saying, and I was on other shows at that time, saying, don't overthink this. Like, just draft him. Like, just draft him. Like, he is who you think he is. And so surreal kind of this morning to see him on the video walking into the facility going, my God, like, Deshaun Watson's a Cleveland Brown. And yet you're also aware and cognizant of all that comes with that. So awkward is a lot of layers, and there's no way that we can just put it in a box and say, hey, here's what it is, because it's not. They're a layer upon layer of this thing, and it's the way it's going to be, unfortunately, for a little while.
No, and I think we'll get, as we said, you're going to get some, I think, clarity and get the opportunity to hear directly from the leadership of the Cleveland Browns and from Deshaun Watson here in the coming days. There have been reports that press conference will be tomorrow. I can't personally confirm that at this time, but those are the reports, and so tomorrow it would sound, based on that reporting, that we'll have an opportunity to hear from the people directly who were involved in this decision from the Browns standpoint, and to hear from Deshaun Watson himself.
Yeah, and again, on his side of it, I don't think you're going to get much because this is ongoing legal matters. So he's not going to be able to comment on this type of stuff, on the civil lawsuits. I don't think he'll be able to say much at all on that front. So those questions will be directed towards leadership of the Cleveland Browns as opposed to Watson. I mean, I'm sure people will try to direct questions to him, but he's in no position. Again, not an attorney. Seen a lot of great TV shows about attorneys, great movies about attorneys, and I would think that this would be something you would not weigh into as it is ongoing. So, that's.
I think you have that.
I think I have that right. State school, who knows?
We'll find out. Right. Neither one of us have no law
doing
degrees.
The best we can on
no
this
law
front,
degrees
kids.
here.
Yeah, no, there's not. So that's where you stand in terms of where we are with this today. Just from a timeline standpoint of where we are in the in the rest of the league. So now this physical reportedly passed, and then the next time that theoretically you would see Watson back here would be what? OTAs, and then obviously mandatory minicamp.
My guess would be the OTAs. Yeah, I would imagine that after being out of the league for a year, and I'm sure we'll get to hear what he's been doing, and from a football standpoint to keep himself in shape and throwing. And I've heard people talk about how he's throwing the ball better. I think it was on the Ryan Russillo podcast. I'm just talking about how he's thrown the ball better than they've ever seen him throw the ball. Somebody who knows Deshaun. So yeah, I think he's gonna want to get every rep that he can possibly get. And I think when not only that factor of not playing for a year, but then also when you sign a contract like that and you're going to be the quarterback of the team, I think it's probably a pretty good idea to get in here and get as many reps as you can, get familiar with the offense. Because I think for Deshaun, and we've heard, John McClain basically say this, is that he wants to come out and be the best player in the NFL.
Yeah.
After everything that all the things that he is dealing with, both on and off the field. So, yeah, I think you would see him in the OTAs, which are typically, you get a rookie mini camp that kind of comes right after the draft, early May. But OTAs, I think, are going, May, June. When we're talking, and the OTAs we're talking about, there's phase 1, phase 2. There's all the different phases, and I'm sure he will be. My guess is he'll be present for a lot of these things. But I think once you get into OTAs, we're actually having the organized team activities, aka practices, that I think Deshaun Watson certainly will be here for that.
So that's where you stand on that front. That's what we know at this juncture. Lots of fun on the program today. Greater Cleveland Sports Awards last night. Greg Newsome was there. You'll hear from him. We'll do a little agree or disagree on the best free agent fits remaining in free agency. Still a lot of big names out there. Boy, Twitter was fun last night, and social media was fun last night with John Johnson and Odell Beckham Jr. That was fun, wasn't it? Did you have a little fun with that one?
I saw it made some of the rounds there. You didn't hear from me though. I just think I think he's having fun. I think that, the Browns are in a position right now where they are a team that players want to play for. And I think Odell, he's even said, he very much liked Cleveland. He liked the fans. He liked everything that was here. And there was a problem that would no longer be here. So could it be appealing to, but we don't even know when Odell Beckham Jr. can play football again.
my understanding, probably November is what you're looking at. So I mean, that's a long way.
Way away.
And he may honestly I mean, if you want to do former receivers returning, Jarvis is the more straightforward path.
Sure.
Versus Odell, where there is please come home, Jarvis.
Like that Chappelle show.
Yeah, right. Come to me. But the Odell one's is more complicated, and it's also from Odell's perspective as well, because if he's not going to play until November, he may very well just wait until then to pick which team makes the most sense.
Correct.
And where there's a spot for him to make a run at things, and he did that and picked the Rams, and that obviously worked out well as he won a Super Bowl. So, but remember, he shredded a second knee. He did so in the Super Bowl, and that was in February. So you're a long way out between him.
Feels unlikely. Like just for
it does.
And it's not happening anytime soon. To your point,
no.
In terms of
no. And there's so many other guys. There's so many guys out there that are healthy now. It would be just an odd allocation of funds to me to have that. I think it's fun for John Johnson to do it, and he succeeded. Can I run something by you guys from a non-football perspective? Are you guys aware? So we are 2 weeks from today is the Masters. Do I have that right?
Sounds right.
So if you go to masters.org and you click on players, and you scroll to the bottom, Tiger Woods among the players listed.
Well, he's a past champion, so he'd always have the.
Phil Mickelson is not listed.
Well, because he is taking his time.
Right, but do you think there's any chance that Woods would play?
Yeah. He played in the thing with his son.
But he hasn't played a competitive round. Like, do you think he would really, this would be his return? Of any place, this would be the place to do it.
My guess is he would return if he's doing it. What's next? Where's next week? My guess is he would return the week before the Masters, or maybe he's just playing
to have fun. Because if you're, one thing about the Masters is like Nicklaus played it into his 60s. Freddie Couples has even been contention into his 50s. Like, you don't have to necessarily if your mind could be, let's just go have a fun round of golf at Augusta at a familiar place. He could do that without thinking about having to go try and win it.
All right, this is Tiger Woods we're talking
about.
I
understand.
So he's been practicing, and if he's playing in this, he is going to play to try to come in, shock the world, and win. There's no question in my mind.
Yeah.
So that means he has been training. He's been playing on his courses all around Florida, doing whatever he needs to do to get himself ready so that when he goes out there, while he may, I haven't played competitively before this, that's fine. He's going to be ready. He's going to be
as ready as physically he can coming off of what he's come off of.
Correct. Yes.
But I think it's odd that he's on, that there hasn't been some announcement of it, that it just snuck out on the Masters website.
I thought you were going to talk about the fact that John Rahm's picture, unless they've fixed it, is him taking a full swing with a putter. It's him following through with a putter over his shoulder.
No, I don't. No.
Which I thought was hilarious.
I don't know that I could have got to Rahm in the first segment here. Tiger is a first segment situation.
Is he the number one player in the world right now?
I don't know that anybody who doesn't golf knows who John Rahm is. If you don't golf, you don't know who John Rahm is. There's no way.
He just won.
Again, golf.
All right.
If you're not a golfer, if we went out there and took a picture of John Rahm around and he wasn't holding a club, how many people could name him?
Someone might say, I would say the majority would say Brooks Koepka, because that don't golf.
I don't think anybody could. I bet you, unless you were a golfer, I don't think you could identify John Rahm.
I would agree with you on that.
Okay.
I don't think there's any chance.
Sad for John Rahm. Best in the world. He's the best in the world.
Everybody knows Brooks because of the Mick Ultra spots and all that stuff.
I bet you if you walked around with John Rahm and Mike Trout, just pictures of them both, you would get more Rahms than Mike Trouts.
In this building?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Print them out. Can you find a picture of Mike Trout without an Angels hat?
Yeah, don't put him in a uniform.
And a picture of John Rahm without a ping or whatever his club
without a golf
is.
trophy or a golf club.
Without a golf club,
This is why we need a Stevie. We would send Stevie,
go
around, tabulate, and report back.
I bet you less than 20% in this building would know either one.
I think you'd get more Rahm. More people play golf. A lot of people play golf. I think you get more Rahm. Right now, if you showed me a picture of Mike Trout, I don't think I'd have, and completely out of context, I'd have no idea it was Mike Trout. None. Zero. John Rahm, of course, I'm a golfer. I would know.
Yeah, and you're running in those circles. You're an elite. You run in the golf circles, the elite circles, so you would know that. Baseball's more hard scrabble.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way that goes.
Do they play baseball at your country club, sir?
They do not.
Oh.
We play lacrosse, so I don't know.
But
I would say.
That's weird. Sorry, I didn't realize that was the. I didn't realize you're still. Where's Dusty Rhodes' theme for Beau? He's just a common man.
Right. Can we get a? Do you think you can find?
With his hands.
Do you think you can find a picture of John Rahm without a golf hat, or a picture of Mike Trout without a baseball hat? Gibby's got one. I think he's got a picture of Rahm.
I've got Rahm
There's
right
no
here.
way anyone knows John.
I got Johnny Rahm right here.
There's no way.
Is this what he's got? Is this what he's got?
There's no way.
John
Yeah,
Rahm.
that's the one.
That guy looks like
I'm going to put that guy next to Mike
Trout,
picture.
and
Hold
we'll
on.
see who knows more.
Go with this one. This looks like more like he looks now.
Let me see that one. Oh, there's no way.
That's his
Somebody's going to think that's an incoming assistant to the traveling secretary. No one's going to think that that's a professional athlete. There's no chance.
Obviously, you're not a golfer. You're like the guys who attack the dude and Lebowski.
I just think if you're not a golfer, that you have no chance. No chance. Whereas
I had 0%.
But I think
Mike
the
Trout.
same is true of Trout. It's just, I guess what this is really, I would say the exact same thing is true of Mike Trout. It's just a matter of, do we have more people who know baseball out there in the building or more people who know golf? You may win because there could be more of that.
The Mike Trout pick's going to be tough. I mean,
It's
I
always
don't
a
have
hat.
Anything?
Do you have anything that isn't an Angels hat?
Correct.
Like just a ball cap?
I've got him on a red carpet with his wife, but it has MLB All-Star Game behind it. And I'm like, well, that'll give it away.
That might give it away. I don't know if it would give away who he is, though. It probably speaks to the issues of both of those sports, I would say. All right, coming up next, Greg Newsome at the on the red carpet of the Greater Cleveland Sports Awards. We're off and running. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, welcome back into Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. Greater Cleveland Sports Awards last night. Gibby, were you in attendance?
I was not.
Z?
No.
I think it's the first one I've missed in a while.
Same.
Was it at the Q?
It was.
Like on the floor?
They did.
That's a big venue, man.
It wasn't the whole arena, so it was, I think it was more like spaced out with couches and things for, instead of like a formal dinner setting, I think. It's what it looked like. There were people in the lower bowl that were seated, so.
Then I saw like couches and stuff were set up.
Correct.
Yes.
So
Sofas.
I think it was like a more, it actually looked like, so Good Karma does,
Look like the
puts
ESPYs.
on the Wisconsin Sports Awards.
Mm.
So, and that's kind of their format. I know that I think Sam Pines and a few others, Anson Hall, who do great stuff with the Sports Commission, I think they've taken some of those ideas to make it a little more informal.
Okay. All right. Very good.
I'm just laughing at some of the responses already to your.
Yeah, I put it out there on the poll.
I'm a mild baseball fan. This is from Edward Hearn. I'm a mild baseball fan and a mild golf fan, but a sports fan overall. I could pick Mike Trout out pretty easy, but I've never heard of or seen John Fromm. John F-R-O-M.
Did I spell it wrong?
No, it's Rahm, R-A-H-M.
Did I spell it right in the poll?
I can't see the polls. My whatever app I use has
Let
nothing
me
to
see
do.
if I spelled it right. I was in a hurry. Yeah, I spelled it right. R-H-A-M.
Yeah, but the other guy said
So
John.
62 votes in 5 minutes, by
It's
the
up
way.
to 76.
Okay, 76 votes. What's it say right now? I mean, I just put this up 5 minutes ago.
I'm
76
literally
votes.
printing out 2 pieces of paper.
For the
I'm going to
building?
tape them to the outside window. I look forward to us being in trouble later. But
Who is
I'm
this?
just going to say, check off if you know
I like
these
it.
people. Do
Do you know who this is? Right now, 78 votes. Rahm is leading of my Twitter following. And again, a blue-collar Twitter follow. 53% to 46% right now. Rahm is leading that vote.
That's within the margin of error.
Most recognizable outside of uniform element is how I phrased it. And I think I did get all
Your
the spelling right.
phraseology felt very elite.
I tried. So, you do what you can when you can do it. I had to get some things we're sorting out. We had several conversations happening at once. We were able to get it through.
Can we talk about something just important real quickly?
I want to get to Greg Newsome, but how long is this divergence?
Very quick. As
Go.
you noticed, I pulled a page out of Tony Romo's playbook there and had a bite of my apple while you were talking, which was
new move.
It's not my new. It's the first time I've done it.
But if that becomes your move,
It won't.
I would support it.
You would.
Not to me, but to others.
Thank you.
I would, yeah.
So you wouldn't support it yourself. You'd be conflicted.
I wouldn't support you eating an apple while we're talking. I would support you eating an apple while others are talking to you.
I did it way away from the mic. I don't even know what caused me to do it. My whole
The Honey
schedule got
Crisp.
thrown off, and that's the point I was going to make is enough with all other apples. If you need to have whatever the apple is, the number one pie apple, if that's a Granny Smith or is that what
that's
it
the
is?
orange or the green. The bright green apple is the
yeah,
Granny
which
Smith.
is what we use
That's
in the
the
bourbon
tart
apple pie.
Apple.
So
yeah.
that 5% of apple, so you have enough for pies and
Yeah.
this. Everything else, Honey Crisp. Red Delicious, gone.
Gone.
Fuji, later.
Yeah.
Pink Lady, Mealy, Sia, bye.
Macintosh out. Get them out.
No interest.
Yeah.
All Honey Crisp.
I don't know why they're making on the others. Who's choosing the others?
Who, if
If you have the choice.
if this was a poll, you have in front of you every apple in the world. What are you choosing? The answer is going to be Honey Crisp. The only other answer that I'd accept is a Grapple, which is when they made those weird apples that taste like grapes. Love that. But it was weird. Wasn't natural.
No. It's not. I think you make a great point. And
Thank
I don't
you.
know why apple producers aren't just producing nothing but Honey Crisp.
Uh-oh. One of my buddies just texted me, we've got to try a Cosmic Crisp.
That feels like something that has been
Never even heard of
genetically
it.
modified.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel like a natural. But maybe the Honey Crisp isn't a natural
Honey
aspect.
No, the
I have
Honey
idea.
Crisp. If Keebler Elves were still
I'm worried
around,
about the name of that.
They're
though. The name of that
injecting
has me.
Cosmic, yeah.
Cosmic makes me think that that's something that somebody cooked up. You
Yeah.
cooked it up in a lab.
Sounds like a sub place.
Yeah. All right. Greg Newsome was at the Greater Cleveland Sports Awards last night. He was asked if he was surprised that Deshaun Watson changed his mind and chose the Browns.
Definitely came as a surprise as soon as, you seen that he kind of declined us at first. We kind of thought that it was over, so definitely was a surprise.
This Trout, this is fun. This is my favorite things with the show.
It's great.
I don't care about
Who
any of the
knows
football.
where it
I
came
just want to
from?
do this.
It's amazing. By the way, a comment from Rusty Harden, Deshaun Watson's lawyer's just been put out.
Do that.
Yeah, I can. I'm just doing it right now.
All right, go ahead.
Quote, "This is a year-old allegation. We knew, the Browns knew. Deshaun is going to be the Browns quarterback this year," end quote. Back to Greg Newsome.
I was just going to make a comment about a picture of Mike Trout and his family from Brandon Walker. It says, "Not a chance you know who this is without baseball involved in the picture." It's Trout and his family. I don't know. They're both pretty anonymous, I think.
John Rahm is not anonymous.
No, yes, he is. Yeah, he very much is.
Although
if you wouldn't even list him as you would not list him as a top. Is he a top 10 most recognizable golfer?
I mean, he's the number one golfer in the
I
world.
know
right
what
now.
that is.
He won.
But look, Ash Barty, or whatever her name was, who was the number one tennis player in the world yesterday.
And
People
she's
couldn't pick her
retiring.
out of a lineup until yesterday when she retired.
Good for her.
Right, I'm fine with it. But I would say he would be down the list of most recognizable golfers even now. Like he wouldn't be in the top 5 most recognizable.
Well, if you're
As good as
taking
he is.
Tiger, Mickelson,
Well, they would be 1, 2, Rory, Dustin, DeChambeau.
DeChambeau.
I think Ricky Fowler would be ahead of him on a recognizable by far. I think Justin Thomas would be as well. And then if you want to go with the old guys, there'd be a bunch of old guys that'd be more recognizable than him. Here is Newsome on if he knows if Amari Cooper and what it's going to be like going against him this season in practice.
Nah, I don't know him at all, but he's definitely a great receiver, so I'll be looking forward to that matchup.
Did you think about that right away, what it'll be like to go against him in practice and
for
how you
sure.
can benefit?
Yeah, I mean, a guy like that, obviously going against Odell and Jarvis was the same thing last year, so, another guy like that is definitely going to, help me progress into year 2.
And speaking of Jarvis, here is Newsome on lobbying the Browns to re-sign Jarvis Landry.
I mean, he's a great leader. He was the heart and soul, of the team for the last, few years he's been here. So it'll definitely be, cool to have a reunion with him. Obviously, I'm not in the front office. I can't make those decisions, but, that'd be pretty cool if he came back.
Certainly would be. Honeycrisp apples are difficult to produce because their skin damages more easily than other varieties during growth and shipment. So growing them isn't as productive for orchards as other varieties.
Listen, figure it out. Figure it out. You're sitting on gold.
That's pro RF nerd with that insight on the apple.
Which feels very like it's coming from a very educated place on the apple there. All I'm saying is let's just figure
I'm not
it
going
out.
to say his actual handle.
Oh.
Yeah. Good point out of Bobby Meckling. Rom, but his uniform is closer to street clothes, so I imagine seeing him in a hoodie or a quarter zip would be an easier one to recognize. Also, his beard is kind of recognizable. He makes a good point on his attire that you'd be more common seeing him in his everyday attire, whereas Trout is locked in with the hat. Baseball players always have their hats on. Solid
Okay.
point.
Good point. Listen, Bobby's pretty on it. I mean, if we're going to
Bobby Meckling, when you do Ask CBD, folks, those of you trying to know how to play the game Ask CBD,
just go study Meckling.
Study Meckling. That's the guy you study there.
He's elite. Gibbe's literally taking pictures.
He's taping them on the outside.
Taping them on the outside.
Yes.
Cleveland Browns Daily show question. Do you know who this person is? Please check under there either one, yes or no. Thank you for your help. Amazing.
Perfect.
This
This is a scientific poll.
This is
of
real
the people in the
scientific.
building. This is
So
fantastic.
we're just going to go based on the number of checks?
Let's see.
Katie Prefer?
Katie Prefer.
No, bring her in. Bring her in.
No, not in.
Oh, no.
God, no, not in.
Not in.
Just out there. Just
out
pay
there.
attention. Just do the thing. All right.
No on Rom.
She's
No on
giving
Rom.
a hard
She's
look
studying.
on Rom.
She's already out on Rom.
Nothing.
Nope.
Neither.
0 for 2. 0 for 2.
0 for 2. 0 for 2.
Carry on.
That goes to, I think, our
Carry
bigger
on.
point that neither
Yeah.
one is very recognizable for people who aren't into the particular sport.
Nobody hits 50% in this office. Neither of them will bat 50% in the office. Neither one.
Yeah, I think so too. I look forward to her reasoning behind
Yeah,
this. It
she's
looks like
killing Gibby. She's
Gibby's
slaying
having
Gibby.
the time of his
He's
life
out-
with this.
By the way, I hope when Gibby comes in, we can get a good shot of him on the stream. So, it's a big day around the office, obviously. But Gibby came in his Banana Grande best. This is the Banana Grande, just missing the yellow jacket to go with it.
It's a lemon meringue. It really is.
It's a beautiful thing.
Never forget, there's always money in the banana stand.
Don't you remember? It's
Never forget.
B-A-N-A, banana, Grande, Grande.
That's right.
Made it into a newspaper.
Made it into a newspaper with that for the kids who have been with us a long time. Can
A
appreciate
long
what
time.
that's all about.
That was from the deodorant section of a
That was with us.
Of a discount drug mart, I believe.
That was. And
Hollywood
was with us.
Hollywood Higgins
Hollywood
is
Higgins.
with us.
With all of this, we haven't even discussed the fact that he signed elsewhere.
Carolina.
Yeah. What did you get?
The conversation,
Yeah.
spectacular.
I knew it would be.
She's coming. What did she mark on there? She's putting pens there?
Yeah,
Let's see. Do we
they're
have
all
all right.
voting? I put the
All right,
word out.
all right. Do you know? Let's see.
Oh, my
He's
gosh.
got a pen. That's a confident. Looks like a.
It's a confident.
What do they have to do? What do they?
The first guy, she goes, that looks like a serial killer.
Johnny Rahm?
It's the first Spaniard to win the
Oh.
U.S. Open.
Second one,
Are you just having them put yes or no? You're not having them identify.
correct.
Okay.
Because we don't want anybody to write the name.
I
Because
just
then
said,
people
do you
will
know who this is?
Okay. All right.
She said, the other one looks like a wrestler. Mike Trout.
He does.
Ooh, good. That's right.
That's
It
fair.
might be the picture, but that's the best I can find.
Yeah. All right. We'll do a little agree or disagree with the NFL free agents remaining. Keep you updated on the polls. Keep you updated on Honeycrisp production as well. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Well, the weather is cold outside. Yes, it is. A nice hot bath or shower would feel amazing, and you can transform that bathroom or shower into a custom bath. It will feel like a spa. And I'm going to tell you what, spas better than bathrooms. Let the Bath Authority make it a reality for you at a fraction of the cost of the competitors. The Bath Authority is Cleveland's premier bath and shower remodeler, expert factory-trained installers. Largest selection of bath projects. They're all made in the United States. Acrylic tubs, they insulate, keep the heat in. You can change your bathroom from outdated to outstanding. Superior products, expert installers. Give them a call now for $500 off your next custom bath or shower remodel. That number is 216-220-8399 or go to thebathauthority.com. It's where affordability meets quality. Murph weighed in. He said no on Rahm. I did not see his vote on.
He looked perplexed
on both.
Yeah.
How's the Trout picture? Is it clear it's a human?
Yeah,
Is it a
it's
fish?
him on his wedding day. He's kind of looking this way and holding his tuxedo jacket open.
The Rahm picture, if it's the one that it appears to be from when I went through the Google Images, is an older one. If you put him with his beard, I think you have a better shot because that's how he currently looks.
I love how you try to manipulate this.
Well, I promise you this. If Zegura was taking 2 photos around, it would be one instance after another of leading the witness.
It's outrageous.
It's your only flaw is your leading of the witnesses.
There's
you consistently lead witnesses.
The
one time I said you did, and I was so proud of you.
Yeah.
I forgot who we were interviewing.
I don't do it
but
anymore.
There was no leading of witnesses.
I don't do it
just
anymore.
Did it.
No, I didn't. How did I just do it?
What did I do?
You were like, if I were going to do this, I would print one out with a beard and blah, blah, blah.
Who's the witness that I'm leading? That's
Everyone
my statement
listening.
of fact. I would use a picture that is what his current look is. It would be like if we put a picture of you up from a few years ago, Sans beard. That's a different
But has Rahm had the beard for like 5 years, or it's just more recent?
I think
It feels
maybe like last year, maybe.
the beard kind of comes and goes for him a little
By the way, so I voted.
And it's not
on
really
your Twitter
much of a
poll.
beard.
I voted on it.
And
Yeah.
what did you say?
I put Rahm as more recognizable, clearly, to me.
Yeah.
According to this, you have 309 votes in.
That's in 20 minutes.
Let's
and
go.
It's a 50-50
It's
split.
a dead heat.
It's right on it. Gosh, we had that means we had a perfect poll.
Perfect poll.
Perfect polling.
Hey, now.
I mean,
That's probably a bigger indictment of Trout than Rahm, that it's a perfect poll. It's a significantly bigger indictment of Trout than Rahm. Because Trout's been the best player in baseball for about a dozen years. And no one knows who he is.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think of the baseball players that are currently playing baseball. Like, take the Guardians out of it. Like, I know what J-Ram looks like. If he was on there, I would know exactly who he was. But if you take whoever the best players in the league are, like I know Tatis.
Yeah.
I know. Let me see who else do I know.
You know Kershaw. You know Clayton Kershaw, what he looks like. He's been around a long
I
time.
mean, if he's in a Dodgers uniform
he
and pitching,
would. No,
maybe.
I feel like
I don't know what his face looks like.
Really?
I don't think so. In my mind, he kind of looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
You got it.
Okay.
Nailed it. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But like Freddie Freeman, I don't know that you'd get what Freddie Freeman looks like. The Dodgers just signed him.
0%. Pete Alonso, no chance.
No chance. Yeah.
No. Bryce Harper, I would know.
Yep.
On site. But then you got to go back. Like, you know, if you're talking about somebody who played on the 1989, I'd get them all.
Yeah.
Like, who could forget what Willie McGee looked like? Nobody.
No. Pretty distinct. Willie McGee, pretty distinct.
Willie McGee versus Sam Cassell is like that would be an all-time face-off.
right there.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Sam was not crazy about those conversations. He was a Florida State guy. He was not crazy about the discussions of his appearance.
Why would you be? Why would if you're
I'm just saying, like, was really pretty sensitive.
like
about
maybe
it.
fighting words?
Feel like it's a lock.
Yeah.
Gloves drop. At that point, yeah.
Yeah, my dad had theories, which I would.
Yeah, probably best we stop there. If a car, truck, or motorcycle accident caused you injury, call the injury lawyers at 1-800-ELK, Ohio for a free case review. Elk & Elk is a proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. Here's, according to our good friend Nick Shook, best remaining fits for the top remaining free agents. Gibby wants to play a little agree or disagree with Shook's best fits for the following free
Well, I
agents.
love these already.
Yeah, I mean,
I
there's
couldn't be
several of these that
happier
are
with
really
them.
good.
Okay.
So he's got the Honey Badger to Dallas.
Let's get some traveling music.
Traveling music is so appropriate right now. I love it.
I think the Honey Badger's good wherever he goes. I'd like him to go to the Niners, maybe.
Those two seem like the franchises, and now the Rams are kind of trying to become that, where when you're expensive, kind of at the end of your run, but still good, you go.
And
Like
you take
Dallas,
a little less.
49ers were
play
that
there.
for a long time.
Yeah.
You take a little less, you play for the star. The Rams are becoming that,
Yeah,
but they don't really have need or fit.
they have to have need though, right? I mean, I
Fuller
know they have
will be back, though. Like
Fuller
he got
and Rapp.
hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they probably don't need him.
Okay.
But the other two are, I mean, those are the teams that you go to when you're that. I think the Bucks are the other one that's like that. And do
They've got Winfield.
They got
and
Winfield,
they've got,
but they were really banged up last year in the secondary.
They have another.
Lose, like,
both of
everybody?
their safeties are good. Yeah.
So those are kind of the teams that are, that usually sign those type of players. Here's another one of those guys, Stephon Gilmore, Cincinnati.
No.
Seeing some things on Twitter now that KC could be in the mix if that price tag comes down a little bit.
For who? Gilmore?
Yes.
Fine. Not in our division. It's enough. You want to come to the AFC? Fine. That's okay. Not in our division. You know where I'd like him to go? Go reconvene reconvene with your boy, Big Bill. Go to the Patriots. Or Stephon, better yet, chase some money, go to the Jags. I don't need him making somebody that we have to contend with better.
No, and the Bengals low-key have had an awesome start to their offseason.
Yes.
The 3 signings. This from Josh. He contends that you and I would know Joey Votto if he walked into the facility. I would know Joey Votto. I don't think you would.
I know I wouldn't.
Yeah. I mean, I have to pay a little bit of attention to the Reds, so I
know
would.
A-Rod. I know Jeter. I know Bernie Williams. You want a
You know
red?
Dave Henderson?
I could give you a Paul O'Neill.
Could you pick Dave Henderson, Dave Parker, Carney Lansford,
Keep
Walt
going.
Weiss,
Keep going.
Tony
Come on.
Phillips?
Yes.
I feel
Terry
like you might
Steinbach?
get Walt
Steinbach.
Weiss.
What-
Walt Weiss has that strange facial. It looks
What
like
about
he's got chipmunk cheeks.
Bob Welch?
Bob Welch, 27-6 that year.
Sure
Bob
was.
Welch, Cy Young
Sure was.
Award winner.
Dave Stewart. Kirk Gibson.
Excuse me. I got some caught in my throat there. By the way, you know who's just joined Twitter recently
Tell me.
from your youth in the Bay Area? Maybe the sweetest swing. Like Ken Griffey Jr. is number 1.
That's number 1, yeah.
But in the discussion, maybe for number 2, Will Clark.
Oh, yeah.
And he's on Twitter now, and like half the time he's just posting videos of his swing, and he's got to be, I mean, if we're in our 40s, like how the heck?
He's got to be approaching 60.
Has to be.
Yeah.
And a lot of his videos are him in his garage hitting off of a tee,
swinging?
and it is pure.
It is pure.
It's unreal.
But also, yeah, I mean, I think lefty.
There's something about it looks better.
It just looks better lefty. Yeah. He is. Did you see that there was they did a 30 for 30 on his Mississippi State team? I think Jeff Brantley was on that team, and then Rafael Palmeiro was on that team. So
another
Palmeiro,
fine swing.
great swing. Palmeiro, Clark, and Brantley, I think, were all on this team at Mississippi State. They didn't win anything. But, like, the two of them hated each other. Like, Will Clark and Rafael Palmeiro hated each other.
Why?
They're like the two best players in college baseball on the same team at Mississippi State. They hated each other. I can't remember the reason.
Too similar, probably.
Maybe. Bobby Wagner to the Rams, says Shook.
Isn't that happening?
Feels like
He's
that's on the
meeting
cusp.
with them, but nothing imminent.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like a Seahawk playing for the Rams. I don't like Sherman playing for the 49ers. I don't like Hayden playing for the Steelers. I don't like playing it. You know, we're going to have some player movement, fine. Pick another division.
So you were like all out when Favre went to Minnesota. You were just.
I mean, yes. I
couldn't
think
have hated it more.
I just think that's crazy. Like, you spend your whole life. I mean, at some point there has to be a little bit of like, look, I've tried to beat these guys for 15 years, and now I'm going to go play for them. Like, he wanted to do it because of familiarity, because Childress was there and the familiarity. I get it. It was easy.
Do you
Good
think
roster, but I still think it's just, I don't know.
is there
Seems weird.
some of though like you guys didn't even tell me I was getting cut, and so now I'm going to go
With
stick
Favre
it to
or
you?
with
No, in this
Wagner?
case with Wagner.
Yeah.
Like, for example,
Sherman
one of my
could have had
favorite
that.
people that I've met here, and he's the one guy that it feels like he's the one guy that could do this, and it feels like people did not begrudge him this at all, is Joe Hayden.
Yeah, I mentioned him. He was
Yeah.
one of the guys I
But he
mentioned
was
as a
like-
guy who, him with the Steelers.
But he was able to do. But remember, he was released very unceremoniously and
I
was
do.
not pleased.
Yeah, you probably are
imagine.
right. There's probably I suppose there's a revenge factor that's in play. I don't know. Like, the idea of Wagner playing for the Rams seems crazy to me.
Agreed.
After 10 years being elite in Seattle to go play for the Rams, because then I just think it's awkward.
I hear that, man.
Even
Find
if you're
out.
a player, like you probably hated them for 10 years. Like, how
I
do you
think,
just turn
right?
that off? How do you just turn that off?
I guess it's just a business, and you just,
I wonder who, in the heyday of the Legion of Boom, wasn't the bigger rivalry was more the Niners, right?
Yeah, because that was Kaepernick and
Although the
Harbaugh
Rams
and
gave them fits in that period of time. The Rams
They
gave
did.
them fits, and they gave the Niners fits.
Yeah,
even
because
when the Niners were
Laurinaitis
very
would
young.
talk about all that time when Chris Long and him, and they had just drafted Aaron Donald, and they had Robert Quinn.
Wasn't
their
Greg
defense,
the coordinator?
Yeah, he was for part of that, and they were just loaded defensively, and they would go win. Like he's told the story to me, like they would go to Seattle and beat the Legion of Boom, and then lose to the Jets the next week.
Yeah, and they'd win
With,
9-6.
And they'd win 9-6, and Kellen Clemens was their quarterback. He was just a debacle. They just could never get. That was almost a big time fall right out there.
Good catch. Good catch.
By a thread. He's looking to see if I noticed. Oh, I noticed.
Good catch, mate. Listen.
Was there some
walking
moisture on the
around with
floor
those
again?
cans on, those headset, I feel like you lose a little equilibrium.
You've got to.
You have to. You got it. There's no reason. There's nothing big going around.
Noise canceling has an impact on your equilibrium.
Struggling right now, just trying to get the water sorted out. See?
There it is.
You just kind of.
I want to know if he.
see, baby.
I want to know if he knows who John. Nobody's. Gibbe, your advertising is failing for some reason. We're failing to attract
Where's
people.
McBurnett?
See if McBurnett. Will,
Robes, look over here.
nobody wants to even look in here.
How does he not look over?
He's got Phil Saucy
Phil
turns right
turn around the hell with it. I want no part of whatever
Yeah,
they're
I'm
doing.
out.
Jadeveon Clowney to the Browns.
Yes.
Shook writes, after spending a season in Cleveland, Clowney seemed destined for yet another prolonged free agency, which he attracted multiple suitors, weighed their offers. The Browns then traded for Clowney's former Texans teammate Deshaun Watson, immediately positioned themselves as a legitimate contender once again. Yeah, make it happen. Make it so. See if Phil,
All right,
what
we'll
Phil
get
has to
Phil
say.
in there. See if Phil knows. See what do you know? Does he
Meantime,
know?
he has Calais Campbell to the Ravens.
Which makes some sense. Yeah.
Kind of,
Kind
Phil
of.
says. Kind of.
Who do you
What
think
about
it
Scarlett?
is? Who does he think it? Okay,
Yeah,
you got it. Okay,
But
got
does
it.
he have a name?
Yeah. No,
No
name.
name.
No,
No
no,
name.
that's a
No
no.
name.
Then that's a no.
What about that
What
one?
about the other one? He's currently looking at the picture of. Nope, no, Mike Trout. Okay, all right, all right. Science,
Nothing.
it's
Wow.
okay. That's good.
Science happens.
He knew. I will say this though. There's
Knew
some
the sport.
He knew. Maybe he's wearing a golf shirt. Maybe that helps tell the story. But I mean,
Just a
people wear
collar, you
polos
can't
all the
hold-
time.
Yeah,
you can't hold that against
unless
him.
it were to say ping.
It
or
doesn't.
something.
It doesn't.
And I don't
It
know
doesn't.
who he is.
doesn't.
Calais Campbell to the Ravens. He has Gronk back to Tampa, and then he has Jarvis to us.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Bring him in. Oh,
Oh.
brother Baco, the leader of Baco,
Baco
Nation,
Nation.
is
Does
checking
Baco
it out.
Nation
Does
know
Baco
either-
know either of these guys?
Who either of these humans are?
Put the word out.
No.
Neither one.
Neither.
Wow.
Man.
Is he checking it off?
He's just writing. No, I mean, he just.
I
is
think it's
shaking his
because
head.
we're so locked in here in the National Football League that maybe. And listen, golf is
It's a far bigger indictment of Mike Trout. and
No
the
doubt.
sport
Of baseball.
by 100%.
the only thing that's true about baseball being America's pastime is the word past.
Yeah. But you can't have a sport. I'm sure you guys saw this week where the Los Angeles Dodgers payroll is $270 million and the Baltimore Orioles is $30 million. That can't happen.
No, not fair.
That is
Feels-
not the same.
that
That's
doesn't
not-
feel like a level playing field.
No. We're not playing the same sport at that point. That's two different sports. The Dodgers have 4 MVPs on their team.
Yeah, like if you and I were to go into a situation where
These
you were
people
able
don't
to
know us.
spend
We can't have them. But
no,
they're gonna
where
think
you
we're
were
nuts.
where you were to spend resources to create the best something, and I went into it with like $10, and you went into it with $100 million. I
Right.
feel like you're gonna win.
Feel like I'd win.
Feel like
yeah.
It's just the way of it.
No.
Yeah, that's not good. And I also saw something, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but in the entirety of the free agency period, the Oakland A's have spent $0, and the
on a
Guardians
second.
have spent $900K. Oh man, they're
Oh,
coming
all
out in
the people
droves.
now.
All the people now. Anyone? Bueller? Does anyone know the effects?
Nothing.
No?
Nothing.
No?
Either one?
Either one?
Either one.
No.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, don't do that. Because
No,
others
sorry.
have to
Leading the
say it.
witness.
You're leading the witness.
Leading
again.
the witness.
Can't
I
do
don't-
that.
I've gotten away from that.
It was
think we
asked
said
to
that
me as a
40
question.
They did say
I've
that.
gotten away from that.
Sorry, can't confirm. Just up to you.
Yeah.
Can you spot him?
Do you know who it is? Anyone?
Jeff? Anybody? Nothing?
No.
Neither?
No. Mm-mm.
Neither.
Mm-mm.
Neither.
I mean, this guy for a decade. Like
Yeah.
Rahm's got 6 wins. By the way, he's won at the Memorial here in Columbus, Ohio. He's won the U.S. first Spaniard to ever win the U.S. Open. Something Seve Ballesteros never did. Something Sergio
you know who that is?
Garcia never did. Is that Elton Brand? Is it?
It's James Harden without a beard. And short hair.
Yeah, I could see it. I still can't see that, actually. That's during his Arizona State days, I feel like. No.
No wonder he keeps the beard in the hair.
Jeez.
It's a tough
Did
look.
you like Elton Brand? Did you
I
see a
did
little
like
Elton
Elton
Brand in there?
Yeah, you could talk me into that being Elton Brand.
Sure.
So nobody knew any of them from that group.
Ofer.
Ofer. Nothing.
You know what we need to start doing? Doing weekly ones with like stars from the 90s. TV stars. Movie
That would be
stars,
far
or
more
movies.
recognizable than these two.
If you put a Real Housewife up there,
Lock it up.
lock it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we should do is put a random Real Housewife as the third one and see how many people know, or like a random contestant from The Bachelor or Bachelorette, and how many people would know that over right now the number one golfer in the world and the best baseball player
on
of
the
the last
planet.
decade.
For a decade, yeah.
Yeah. Keith.
See what Big Keith has
Help
to
us,
say.
Keith. You're our only hope. Does Keith know? Keith's studying. He's eyeballing it. Ben Bloom wanting no part of this.
He's out.
He said, I'm not going around that. He's got a pen. Does he know? Nope.
No.
No. No. Look like a no. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. No.
No.
Yeah?
Yes. How about that?
Hold on. Have him come over and mouth it to you. Move to the side and mouth.
I'm not
Don't
gonna be
write
able to
the
make-
name.
There's a
Who
glare.
do you think it was? Yeah. Yes.
You got it.
Yes.
Nailed it.
Keith.
Nailed it.
First
Keith got
one.
it.
1-0.
Wow.
1-0 out of like a dozen.
A dozen people.
1-0. Keith. Who'd have had it?
Nobody.
A Sasquatch aficionado comes through.
Knew it.
Yeah, that's the one.
Watches a little baseball late at night.
Yeah.
Those 10:05 first pitches. He's on it.
He's on it.
That's where you stand on
he
that
knows.
front.
Yeah,
All right. There you go. Good stuff. All started with Katie Preford.
it did.
Why is she shaking her head? She should be enthusiastic about all we're
I don't
doing
know.
here.
She apparently wasn't even excited to see you.
No, or us at large. All right, we will we'll get into a little bit of the TV broadcast game coming up next. We will have that for you in the second hour. Have a little Sweet 16 fun as well. Keep you updated on the polls. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. A lot of bad advice out there about gambling, from secret methods to picking lottery numbers to betting big when you're on a roll. These myths can lose you money, but get you in a lot of trouble as well. So before you wager, find out what's real and what isn't at keepitfunohio.com. Where are we on the polls, Gibbe? Where are you on your on our poll out here? The external awful pool. Where are we on that?
Well, we've had a couple yeses after I was just out there.
Well, dude, Will Scarlett just walked
Scarlett
by
nailed
in
them
the
both.
best performance. Scarlett and the young fella came over.
Honest Abe also crushed it.
Yeah,
He nailed
they were two
both.
for two. They're just like, yep.
Know it. Done.
That we're calling him Honest Abe.
Scarlett. Well, because we were saying that there's, people could say they know, but we're not actually making them then write down the name for verification. And I said that I have no problem. I trust that. I trust Honest Abe.
I just feel like that kid's doing a lot of data, and the data's got to be perfect.
Yeah.
Some of the smartest people in this building are in those 4, 5
The smartest
cubicles right outside.
the smartest people in this building are not in this room, with the exception of Z. Private school. I mean, you and I are dense.
No.
Nothing.
There's
State
something.
school.
Listen, I don't know that you could say that there's anybody who's more street smart in this building than certainly
Gibbe. Oh, God. Jeez.
And you're a Renaissance man. Are you kidding me?
So
where are we on the polling?
External poll, Rahm 4 yeses, 8 nos. Trout 6 yeses, 9 nos.
So similar. And I believe on the poll that I did on the social, it was 50-50, but I think Rahm is surging.
Hold on.
Johnny Rahm.
I think Rahm is surging and is slightly
I believe I
over,
had
but
that.
it's really close.
I got to go into
For God's sake, Gibby.
No, you got to I can't look on the Browns Daily when it doesn't tell me where we're at.
All right, so here we are. This is we're at like 600 votes here.
Yeah.
547.
Yeah, 51.4 Rahm, 48.6 Trout.
It's a runaway. Told you, Johnny Rahm, baby. Johnny Rahm.
Tight.
If this poll were to go on in perpetuity, at some point the gap between them would be millions of votes.
At some point it would be. You're right. It's kind of like when you call like a political race early.
Yeah.
Because you just
know. You can see the divergence.
Yeah. I think my kids, I was going to say my kids would recognize Rahm more than they would Trout. But
I feel like Rahm right now is like winning, and Trout is like winning co.
Yeah, I mean, winning co ain't going to work.
Not going to work.
Not
Just
going
want
to
be winning.
Not as clean.
Not as clean. That's right.
Not as clean. Yeah, that's really true. All right. So we have our national. It's official now. Thursday Night Football is Kirk Herbstreit and Al Michaels. By the way, after Herbie signed the Amazon deal and that was announced, he then locked in a new ESPN deal that will keep him on game day and Saturday Night Football.
So let me ask you this. So when I read that, first of all, if he is able to do this and never confuse a stat, a comment, a player from the pro to the college to the pro,
I'll tell you how he does it. But
that will be an incredible feat. Number one, that I would have a lot of respect for. Huge B. Number two, when I first read it, the thing that I thought about immediately was, then why wouldn't Fox let Buck do their games and then also work for ESPN? You could say, well, this is the same sports, both NFL versus NFL and college, but it's basically working for two networks. Everybody's got Amazon Prime. I mean, that's going to be it's like
right.
So it's basically working for two networks simultaneously.
True. I think the way around it in Herbstreit's contract was college versus pro and streaming versus over air.
Okay.
So that's probably how he got around it.
But I mean, if you're asking me
for Fox, what they're saying is, we're not going to pay you $15 million a year to call the NFL. Go right ahead. And if you're not going to be exclusive to us, then that's fine. You can do that, and we'll go with Kevin Burkhardt, and we'll go that way. And how many people are really turning in because of the announcers anyway?
What if they would have said, "Hey, we'll give you five extra to keep doing Fox"? Maybe you'd take it.
Now, here's my question.
I don't know.
We're talking
crazy.
about how much to making a year calling football. Like, did he just not get paid anything extra for baseball? Was it all rolled?
Oh, no. I'm sure that his whole – I mean, that's the other thing from his standpoint. It's a good point out of you, Gibbe. Joe Buck, his workload just got a lot less.
Oh, yeah.
He's not doing the summer baseball games. Like, he's only doing Monday Night Football. He's working half the year now. Everything else he does is like ESPN Plus stuff, like documentary stuff. All that's just going to be at his will. You know, if they're not making him do the NBA, then there's or the golf, But I don't think – I mean, that didn't go that well, I think, in many people's eyes when he did U.S. Open.
I
so
feel like Van Pelt's got that covered up.
Yeah, he does.
ESPN.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'll tell you, like, Mike Greenberg has had, like, the market cornered at ESPN for about 20 years. He'll just do everything they ask. Everything. He just does it. And has kind of been that guy for a long time, like, and been really shrewd sometimes with it. A little cutthroat. But now Buck's in the mix. He's the biggest – like that type of guy they've had since Patrick was his apex.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, they've never had a guy like Joe
DP,
Buck.
I mean,
it would be DP at his prime, and Buck is maybe even.
I mean, they were Sports Center anchors. They weren't play-by-play people.
Right. Like Buck's been the face of a network for 25 years. Like they've never hired somebody like this.
He's called every sporting event of consequence that's happened on Fox.
Correct.
Yeah.
Period. In 20.
That's
the end of it.
Yeah, the end of the statement.
Yeah, end of it. All right, here's how Herb Street's going to get around this. So first of all, like, good job out of him. He's going to be able to wet his beak both Thursday and Saturday. So he's
one of my favorite phrases.
So he's going to get it. He's going to get probably got a raise from ESPN to do the college stuff, and now he's just picked up probably a similar amount for the pro stuff. So now he's just doubled income in. Just like that.
Are you burnt out by Thanksgiving?
Sure.
I mean, it's
but he's going to be
a
off.
Lot of work
I promise you,
hours.
you're not going to see him on the College Football Live like Tuesday night thing. You know, when they do he's not doing that stuff anymore. He's not going to be working in the off season. Like his football season is going to be crazy, but then it's going to be done and he's going to walk. This is how you do it. This is how I would do it if I were Herb Street. Acknowledging that there's no way that you're going to have an encyclopedic knowledge of the NFL and college football. There's just no way. Something's got to give. So
yeah.
I think you fake it in college because you can. You can't fake the NFL. The NFL, the people listening, the people watching, the audience is bigger. You've got to know the players. You've got to know schematically what they're doing. You got to know that college is more about atmosphere. Just lean into the atmosphere. Lean into generalities.
So
lean
that's
into
how
the big
he'll keep
coaches.
it.
So I think that if I were him, that's what I would do. I would know the NFL front and back because that's where I got to prove myself.
Yeah.
That's where I'll be held accountable. People have a certain ear for NFL football. College football, it's just you're not held to the same standard. Outside of the two fan bases of the game you're doing, most people don't know the teams that well. It's not like the NFL in that regard. I would just lean into generalities, fall back on the pageantry, and I think he'll be fine. That's what I think he'd do. That's what I'd do if I were him. He's a workaholic, though. Great dude. But to me, there's no way you could do all of it.
No.
I mean, game day is like 3 hours long.
And think about the rosters in college.
So deep. There's not a path for that.
I wonder if they'll delay his start on game day.
I mean, he doesn't need to be there for the first hour.
Correct.
I mean, you could have him pop in or he could do the first segment, chill out for an hour and a half, and then come back for the last hour.
Yeah.
They have so many guys in the bullpen there, too. I mean, that they want to work in on college football. But
yeah.
So but that's what I would do if I were them. That's what I would do if I were him. If I'm going to cheat somewhere, he'd never acknowledge it, but I would cheat the college because I think you can. The CBSA team remains the same, so it's the only one that remains the same. It's Nance Romo and Tracy Wolfson. Those guys all run it back. Fox's A team is completely unknown, and they could go in a lot of different directions here. There's a lot of different directions. I think the most charismatic. You okay? You need missing a page?
I feel like I only got 2 pages of my rundown's up. I guess I'm done.
You're done.
I'm done.
See you later.
See you later.
That's it. I'll see you later. I think their best football team is Gus and Klatt on college. So do you take that group and move them to the pros?
Let him do a Browns game so he could bring back that. You didn't invite me to the barbecue for Denzel Ward. For the best. Yeah,
could do that. Yeah, that would be good.
I mean, it plays in the NFL to have him do the games.
No,
Gus
I
is
think so.
great.
I think he would be good.
And there's something in the cosmos that typically when Gus does a game, it ends up being insane.
Yeah. His NCAA basketball stuff is unbelievable. Aqib Talib was somebody who's been good. I think the feeling I keep hearing is Burkhardt. They're going to have Burkhardt move up to that, and he'll be the guy. They got to have to find
Olsen?
somebody, or they could do Cutler, the Hoff. They could do someone who's not in the mix. I think Cutler could be great.
He will. His don't give a meter was going to be off the charts, which could be great.
Right. And his social, like he needs to tone down that probably for a broader audience.
You might think that's right.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like I remember telling interns for me like 15 years ago, like anything you put on social, that's all permanent record, kids. And then you see like adults doing it now, and they wonder why they don't get things. So who knows what's going to happen on that. Sunday Night Football, Tirico and Collinsworth. That's been planned forever. I don't think he'll keep doing Notre Dame.
So
I think
then
he's
that
off.
throws a wrench into things.
Yeah. Well, you think about that. There was a time, 4 years ago when they first hired Tirico that they had Al, DP, and Costas, and Tirico. All there. All were at NBC.
Yep.
And now Tirico's the only one left standing.
Yep.
Yeah. You know who'd be great on Notre Dame football? Jim Donovan. On NBC. He's an NBC affiliate guy. I'd love it. Could still do here. Be perfect. And then ESPN Monday Night Football, Buck and Aikman.
And there it is.
There you go.
I don't know. Is Salters still doing Monday night?
Yeah, I think I heard.
Is she starting to do that?
I thought I heard Joe Buck say that he was looking forward to working with her.
I think so. I think she's
Yeah.
still.
Who's going to take over? Because remember when they let DP go,
Yeah.
he went out of the studio. Tirico took over the studio.
Oh, Maria
but
Taylor will be the studio because she
Yes.
already did it this year.
She'll be.
Remember,
the
they had
studio.
like 86 people on
Football Night in
there.
America.
They had your boy,
They had your boy.
your boy,
They had your boy's boy.
your boy Jock Collinsworth. They had him. He was on there doing stuff. So they'll have Maria Taylor will host the show.
I loved when you were eating at Elmo's by yourself at the bar, and you texted me. I saw Collinsworth, and I said, "Which one?" And you go, "There's only one."
There's only one. That was good.
That was good by you.
That was good. Yeah, that was it. There's only one. But yeah, so I imagine the roles will expand there, and you'll probably have be Maria Taylor and doing. That's a big show. Football Night in America is a big show.
Yeah.
Like
But
you
they
said,
had her on
there's
Olympics.
Like 3 different sets.
My guess is all that shrinks down. Is what'll happen is it'll be Maria Taylor, probably Chris Sims, Dungy. Well, I don't know about Chris. Chris was always on that ancillary desk because they would have Dungy and. But
I
then
bet
they
they
took
still
Rodney
have
on the
2
road.
sets.
They had
yes.
Breeze in with.
And they
Breeze was
had who's the former Patriots guy?
Ronnie Harrison.
Ronnie Harrison.
But
yeah,
he was
on the field with Jock.
with John, yeah, and thrilled about it.
Looked like he was very excited about taking the act on the road versus the comfy confines of the Connecticut studios.
And it felt like it was like, sometimes you see like a tag team in wrestling, for example, it's got great chemistry.
Yeah.
It was like that. It felt
Oh,
like
a natural.
it was like the British Bulldogs.
Yeah, these two people
you
have a
couldn't
lot in
imagine
common.
them apart.
No, certainly had that feel.
Yeah.
I wonder if they put Jock on Notre Dame football. I think he's an ND grad.
Mm.
That's a big job for them. It's a really big job.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
All right. We'll get you updated on some of the news happening around the National Football League. That is coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Rumpke Waste Recycling, family-owned and operated. Whether you join them as a customer or as an employee, you become part of the family. Visit rumpke.com to learn more on that side of things. It does feel like we have every time I say this, though, then Tyreek Hill gets traded. Every time I feel like we're at a lull, then all of a sudden now Tyreek Hill's traded. And we have 13 teams in the AFC thinking they're playoff teams.
It does feel like such a lull. I mean, the
full
NFL
day.
has been trading marquee people
Every day.
single day. And the fact that they're like, don't they know that the NCAA tournament is tonight, that the Sweet 16 begins tonight? And you'd think they would want to, one-up that. And
What is your – well, we'll do the 16 in a second, but what is your excitement level at Arizona basketball? Like, are you dialed – are you aware of who they play tonight? They play tonight?
Yeah, they play Houston.
Yep.
Can I get rid of the 10 o'clock Thursday night game?
It's
I
too
hate
late.
it too.
Also,
It sucks.
by the way, involves my favorite team that I got to stay up
You're
for.
at 9:40.
And
Tip
what
Duke.
time isn't Arizona after
Duke,
that?
Duke and Texas is at 9:40. Arizona, Houston's at like 9:57.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
One's
terrible
on
because
CBS, one
in
is
the
on TBS.
round of 32, I was watching. They come back, they take the lead. They're like up 6, I wanted to say. It just felt like they were going to pull away and win the game, and I went to sleep and woke up and saw that they won in overtime. And I was
I couldn't.
a little
stay
too
away
close
from
for
that
comfort.
Yeah. So that's actually, I believe that's a Ken Palm. Two of those teams, those Houston and Arizona are both top 5 teams.
Yeah, that's
Houston's
a
a
big matchup.
full day. They're a full day. They're ultra physical. They are grown men.
Well,
and they bring it.
Put it this way: Gonzaga, Arkansas is 1-4. Gonzaga 10-point favorite. Gonzaga, sorry. Villanova, Michigan is a 2-11, 5-point favorite. Duke, Texas Tech 2-3. That's a pick'em. Arizona, Houston 1-5 is Arizona's a 1.5-point favorite.
Yeah. See, that's their squad. Houston's a squad. All the games tonight are awesome. They're all awesome. There's not a
The
dud.
Michigan team's playing well.
They are. Yeah. Nova can shoot it though. Nova can flat out.
I just don't understand why do these start so late?
It's the biggest.
The week before
So
you can
for,
watch
for
basketball
people like
all day
you and
long.
I. For people like you and I. Well, and they went late too. For people like you and I who grew up where we did, it wasn't until I moved here to the East Coast that I realized how stupid it is.
Insane.
I mean, it is stupid.
Yeah.
That you have games starting at 9 o'clock at night. I mean, I remember when you're paying attention to the Cavs in the playoffs and they'd tip at 9:27. What are we doing? What are we doing? That can't happen, man. Can't happen.
Yep.
No.
You can't have stuff ending at midnight.
Coach K's
that Arizona
potential
game.
last game.
By the way, did you hear him today? He goes that it's not fair to these kids that they're having to deal with the pressure. Well, how's about not tell everybody you're retiring a full year ahead of time, Bobby?
I'm a Duke fan. I have been on record as saying
Jeez.
this has not been the smartest decision.
No,
and
give me a
this-
break.
I don't.
Well, I don't know.
we
You could have like
need
Roy
them
Williams
going
just
away
shut
from-
up and just walked away. You don't
Yeah.
need the full tour.
Yeah, but we wouldn't have gotten that great moment with Carolina. That was great.
That was. I want to pass this along to you guys. So remember I said all negative tests were good to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
But once that was done, then you have to apply for a Bahama health visa.
Okay.
Okay? So
A Bahamian.
Bahamian health visa.
Yeah.
So I'm applying for that. So that's 5 you log in, you create a thing. So it's 5 different visas for the whole family.
Yep.
So they need basically everything that you've ever done in your life, every phone number, address that you've ever had in your life. They need all that, passport numbers, all that. Then they needed the Vax cards, right? Vax cards. Then we needed address and phone number of where we got the vaccines, batch numbers on the vaccines. Then you needed negative tests, antigen tests, which changed on the 18th. It was PCR, whatever those are. Went from that to antigen. So we did the antigen because you can find out right away. So we made the switch. So needed the antigen test uploaded, Vax card uploaded, passport uploaded, all of that for every person, and it wouldn't copy the information from one person to another, even though it was all under one thing, okay? So I had to go through each time, address, numbers, uploads, over. It took an hour and 45 minutes.
I don't.
My wife and I
understand,
last
like,
night.
I used to be able to take a ferry from Fort Lauderdale to the Bahamas.
Correct, yeah.
Like, why do they need all this?
So, all right, so we get it done. Mine's first. I put mine through. I immediately get an email. Your visa is being we've gotten it. We've received it. It's being processed.
Sure.
Send the boys, and away they go. This is right around 6:30 last night after an hour and a half of working on this. So I get an email within 10 minutes, approved. Health visa approved. Okay. That was awful quick for all the information that was in that.
Yeah.
Awful
Pretty
quick.
good.
Great.
Did you really check all that? So not that I care. Great. Perfect.
Yeah.
Bootsy, approved. Gold standard, in.
Kid's gonna live next week.
The blonde does not get anything. Nothing. The other two, nothing. Our passes, hers, approved. I keep refreshing the other two kids because they changed from PCR to antigen on the 18th, but on the application, there was no option for antigen.
Okay.
Just said upload thing and then check negative or positive testing, right? So I'm going, oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Now, keep in mind, if it's a PCR, now we're talking about 2 days to get results, and then it's supposed to be 48 hours for them to process, although the process time looks like 10 minutes.
Sure.
It leads me to believe they're not really looking at it. They're just going green light, green light, green light,
Okay.
considering their whole industry is tourism, and they don't want to send anybody not down there to spend a bunch of money. So I checked last night until midnight. No approval on Black Cobra or Beamsy. None.
Did you sleep last night?
Not much.
All right.
This morning at 6:30, approved.
Both of them?
Both.
There you go.
Beamsy couldn't even sleep last night. Why won't they let me in, Dad? Why can't I go? Can I go? I don't understand. Why won't they let me in?
Were you telling him, listen, if you don't get approved, we're just gonna have to leave you?
Funny you say that. Did I tell you this story?
No, but of course you did.
Tuesday at basketball, his AAU coach comes up to him and he goes, "Hey, we have a tournament this weekend. Are you going to be here?" He's like, "No, I'm going to spring break." And he's like, "Are you sure? You can stay with us. Like, stay with us. We'll stay." So we get in the car, and I'm like, "I don't know, Beams. I think maybe we got to consider staying. Like, you can stay with your buddy, and it'll be fun. You'll be at his house. You can go to basketball games." And he was like playing along with it, like, "Oh yeah, I'll just do that. That sounds great. I'll do that, Dad." And I'm like, "Yeah, we'll tell Mom. It's not gonna be any big deal." And we were going on and on. I thought it was like having fun with it, knowing that it was nonsense. So then he's quiet for like 3 minutes, and I look over and he's in tears because he thought I was gonna leave him. I said, "Buddy,
No.
not leaving you,
Never.
dude. Like,
No.
come on, bro.
man.
Who else is going to partially drown your
Don't
youngest
even
brother?
joke like that, Dad."
Did they have they like scouted out the water slides? They can go through a water slide with sharks and all of
We
this?
have another issue now. I've come to find out with the water slide, you have to be 48 inches. Bootsy is like 46.5. So I said, pack the Crocs, baby. Do a Croc measurement and hope for the best. Hope for leniency.
Yeah, you're gonna have to hope for leniency, and I don't know how much.
My God, if he gets denied.
I don't know how much Bahamian
If
leniency
he
you're
gets
gonna
denied
get.
at a
That's
gate,
all he's talked about is the slides. It's all he's a daredevil. Like he can't wait. It's all he's talked
We
about.
had at the Mrs. wedding, we basically took over. So on the backside of the big one that goes through the sharks, which is a pretty cool one, we took over on the backside. There are two slides that are side by side.
Yeah.
That are the exact same slide side by side, and we just basically took that over.
Perfect.
I think we had 16 guys. We made a bracket, and when we had races for money.
Fantastic.
Which, of course, your boy won.
course
And
he
I
won.
was accused of like illegal starts because I knew how to get like a real good whip,
from
and
your
I
swimming
could swim my
days.
swim days. Yeah, because the heavier person is typically, if they can get out of the gate,
yes, the swim
The
day.
swim days, of course.
if the person with more weight and mass,
Yeah, for sure.
if they can match your start, they're going to beat you.
Of course. You have
But I
one
have-
chance.
Yeah, so I had to get them at the start, and I was great at it, and so I took it all, but it was not without controversy.
God, I love it.
But we basically took that over. Like, imagine going there and being like, little Timmy
Who are all
wants to
these
go on this
people?
slide. And you have
With all these jerks.
16 grown dudes, and half of them are pro wrestlers, like big dudes. They're like, no, this
No.
is our side until
Go
we are done with this
find
tournament.
another slide,
That's right.
Timmy.
Yeah, we need to have, let's see, would be around 8. So we'd have 8 races, then 4 races, then 2. We need
Who were you in the
15.
finals?
I'm pretty sure it was against Tom, if I recall correctly. Tom McCarthy. Not our play-by-play guy, which has caused confusion in my phone when I've gotten texts from the Tom McCarthy, who is
Gotta be
the
careful with
Mrs.
your
friend
texting,
who's in my fantasy football league, and then Tom McCarthy, who did the play-by-play for the Browns preseason on television. And by the way, in spring training, took a foul ball off the chest and just kept right on
Tom
with his
McCarthy
call.
play-by-play. Took
Yeah,
it,
for the
not
Phillies,
Tom
'cause that's
McCarthy
a Philly.
friend.
Correct.
Wow.
Stud.
Yeah. So, I mean, how diligent do you think they are with this measuring?
Probably not.
I've seen it both ways.
I
I've
think
seen
if
it like
he's
real
close enough-
stickler, and then I've seen like we were at a resort once in Scottsdale that was like, you're close.
I feel like, you're vaccinated. That gets you 48 inches. You're good.
It feels like you're close.
You're good. You're good enough.
I'm hoping that the Croc, because that's going to get him another 1.5 inches if he wears his Crocs.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to. I don't think you'd be able to take Crocs on these slides. I think.
No, I'm saying that
way.
you. But couldn't you walk up there with them on and then hold them? You'd think.
You might have to walk up with Mom, who's not interested in riding slides. If she's not, if she is, then
I feel
God
like she's
bless
going to
her.
be all in. I think she'll enjoy a slide. Yeah.
It's gonna be a rough scene for Boots.
Is there a slide that's
Listen.
a little rough, by the way? Or is it just a
No,
lazy river?
one of the slides I almost lost my foot on.
Ah.
Because you come out and there's a net right over the top of it at the very beginning, and I got my foot caught in the net for a second. I thought I was just gonna take my foot, but it came out, so it was fine. Obviously, it's here.
Yeah.
But no, it's amazing. It's a great water park. You got to watch out though. You could end up, in the same place as a hammerhead shark, so just be careful of that. You don't want that.
Don't want that.
No,
Yeah.
but it's awesome.
He's got to get on it. I don't even want to deal with it.
There are definitely slides that under 48 could get on. He just might not be able to get on like the slides. But I think you'll be fine. Listen, they let people go out into that lazy river where like it is. I mean, I've shown you the pictures. We're talking full. One of my buddies got knocked off, and then you get in this rapid, and there's boulders under the water in the rapid.
What?
He hit his back on the boulder. His
Oh,
whole
yeah. You
back
haven't
was
heard
purple.
this?
You've seen that picture?
No.
Dude, I have 2 scars from the lazy river, one on my knee, one on my ankle. Dude, the lazy river is not lazy. Like, do not let your kids go on there and be like, oh, there's on the lazy river. It's fine. No, you need to be near them at all times and be ready to save them because it is insane.
Sounds like you're going to have a lot of work. On
It's
vacation.
awesome, though. It's an awome lazy river because it is anything
It's fun.
but. It's a
anything
ride.
But they must have one that's lazy though, right?
No.
Nothing. They're both. It's full day.
No, it goes from like points of being lazy, and then you get the huge wave thing that goes, and it makes waves, and then you go in this cave where it's like the rapids. But when you fall out, like normally you think you fall out, I just have to stand up, but you might be like getting slammed into boulders. That's where I got cut. One of my buddy's wives was like literally
Slammed into
got
boulders.
she got hit
Jeez.
right like this under her face on that lazy river, blood gushing, and was not happy because it was quite a scene.
Oh,
no, like.
Yeah, that wouldn't sit
We
well.
were not the same as we were before. We were changed by that.
Changed
lazy river.
men.
And we're like grown-ups. So just
Jeez. Yeah, in previous lazy rivers that aren't lazy river experiences, what I would try to do is avoid some of the heavier humans around you. Like you want to go with your weight class
Yeah.
as your best chance to survive for the children. Like if there's a bunch of kids and they got a chance, but you don't want to run into a big guy. That'd be a problem.
I have to imagine at a but then again, it was still this way and I'm pretty sure Mike got married in like it's probably been 7 years since I've been there. Maybe more. But like you would think at some point somebody was like, this is not okay. But it made it many years to the point where it was
where it
still
is
what
now.
it was. So like I'm hoping that somebody maybe you'll come back and be like, dude, they totally got this under control.
But it does seem like fun. Like I think I would like a lot of that.
Super fun, but you also could end up
Yeah.
bruised and bloodied and
You
with
don't want
scars.
that. You don't want that.
Like, I mean, part of it, we were like just having such a good time. We came out looking like the Black Knight from Monty Python. We're like, it's a flesh wound. Like, we're fine. But we weren't fine. Like, the Big Daddy, I'm going to find this picture for you.
Find it.
Of
All
his
right,
back.
we'll find it.
This is from the Lazy River, mind you.
All right. Sweet 16 tonight. We'll get you set. Have a little fun with that coming up next. Listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Hey, you're thinking about upgrading your enterprise operating system, but you can't afford the downtime and disruption that goes with a major overhaul. Beau here for my friends at EOX Vantage. Their data scientists are also business operations experts. Your EOX Vantage team does not take a rip-and-replace approach to improving your operating systems. Instead, they help you build onto what you already have so you make the best use of your investments, both old and new. So if you're fearing if your employees will stress out over your new systems, EOX Vantage works to ensure your people can easily adapt the new workflows comfortable in place. You can start out by making easily manageable changes, add on more when the time is right. Read how other business owners overhauled their systems without overwhelming their people at eoxvantage.com. Sweet 16 is tonight. Gibby, what do you have in store for us here?
I don't know. I was trying to figure out something. I
You
don't
want
know.
to snake draft them?
This may, yeah.
Arizona.
Like, do we get points for how many of your teams make the Final Four, make the Final Two?
Yeah, I mean, I
like
think
that.
you would do it. You would do a point system.
Beau, because Beau will be in the Bahamas. We'll have to keep
Call in
a
from
tally.
there. Yeah, I'll
call
have
in.
Yeah.
We'll just do it. Let's do a snake draft.
All right. So
And the most points for who gets you get a point for this round, 2 points for Elite Eight, 3 for Final Four, 4 for winning it.
Sure, I like that.
we're gonna get Nick Paulus in too as our board up.
What are you doing? Why do you have stickers?
Gentlemen, how's it going?
What's up,
Great.
buddy?
How are you doing?
Hey, you got to pick a
Do
pick
what?
a number. You got to pick a number. All right, I'm coming in.
3. Does he have to
He's
pick
got
a number?
papers.
Oh, I picked the number 3.
Gibby's got papers.
Look at Banana Grande, folks. 2,
3.
Rats.
Nick,
Oh, what are you, Gibby?
right hand or left hand, Nick?
Let's go with right.
Nick,
Riveting.
you are pick number 4.
So he has
Alright.
4 and 5. That's a good spot.
That's a
That
good
is
Yeah, that's
spot.
spot
pretty
on
good.
the
I like
snake.
Good
that.
spot to be.
That leaves me with pick number 1. Girl, what's it to you?
Come on, man.
All right. All right. So, how many points? What's our point system? What do we decide?
1, 2, 3, 4. Each one.
All right. Perfect.
All right, who are you taking, Gibby?
Tremendous question.
You have the first pick.
Can't believe I'm going to actually help you out. I'll take Gonzaga.
Bear down, baby. Arizona Wildcats.
I'm going to go Kansas. I think they have the easiest path to the Final Four.
I like that. That's next level analysis.
All right, Nick, you got 2 picks here. Nick, a little traveling music.
We have
some.
It
Yeah,
exists.
you
hear
got
it.
some.
Can't hear
Traveling
How about
music's
that?
happening.
It's traveling.
a little bit better?
It's traveling very
No,
nicely
we hear
for
it.
us.
Gibby doesn't have a headset on, I don't think.
Oh, well.
Hold
Come
on.
on,
So,
Gibbs.
did you see someone's tweet about the traveling music?
Yes, of
Yeah,
course.
people love traveling music.
They love it.
What are we,
Everyone
hard to
loves
sing?
it.
Traveling music is the vacation intro.
Gibby, there are a great many tweets about this show.
By the way, Siciliano chiming in. This is just a random thing that we had talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
7 teams have multiple first-round picks. That's the most ever, as we had said yesterday. 8 teams are without a first-round pick, also the most ever.
There you go.
They feel like that'd go hand in
There's
hand.
your football talk for
There you go.
There you go.
All right, Nick, you got
2.
2 big picks here.
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna go with Houston.
Ugh. That's your first. That doesn't make me feel very good.
Makes me feel
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Houston, and I'm gonna go with. Oh God. I'll go Carolina.
Why were you silencing me?
You got Houston and Carolina.
because
Yeah.
Zegura's leading witnesses again.
I wasn't leading anybody. Where was I leading them?
All right. All right. Give me Duke.
Thank you for saving me.
You're welcome.
North Carolina.
He's got UNC and Houston off the board. Kansas and Duke are off the board. Arizona's off the board, and Gonzaga's off the board.
All right, I'm going to take Purdue.
Purdue.
Oh, there you
Gibby.
go.
Like, I feel like Our time to pick, me and you, in like 1 second. And their time to pick is in like a year. This is great radio.
Sounds
This is radio. They don't get to watch you deliberate and enjoy watching the wheels turn.
You've had a while.
I'm going with Texas Tech. And that would mean I'm picking them to beat my team, but
Yeah.
Okay.
Hate to
And
see
who
it.
else are
and
you
you
taking?
can run it right back because it's your pick again, Gibby.
I know. I'm looking to see who's in what region. That's all.
I mean, this should have been done ahead of time
like-
on your end, Gibby, to be
Yeah.
quite fair.
You
Hey,
put this in the
I'm-
rundown.
This is
keeping
your
track of
rundown.
things.
You
You
had
didn't
one
even-
of the 4 in it. Like
You didn't
pull
even
it
give
up,
me
man.
this page of the rundown, and I'm better prepared. I was left without this
I'm
page.
going to say UCLA.
Okay.
Why don't y'all shut up?
All right, Z.
Jeez. All right, Gibby. Awful. You're going to take UCLA. I've taken Zona and Purdue.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah, I know. I'm just looking real quick.
I'm
right,
ready
so-
in 1 second. What?
Can I finish,
waiting.
please? May I finish?
Still waiting.
May I finish? May I finish? I'm going to take, who's the 2 seed? Villanova. Nova.
That means you picked them to beat Arizona.
No, it means I've guaranteed myself a team into the Final Four, unless Texas Tech goes, which would be a really
Or Michigan.
devastating thing to my bracket.
I will take Providence.
The Friars. Austin Crocier, God Shamgod on this roster.
To be fair, I was hoping you guys would blow it on UCLA and Nova because I think those are the only other two teams remaining that I think have a
wanted,
shot.
yeah, I was going to go with UCLA as well. Providence.
No.
So
All right, Nick.
So
you
yeah,
got
so I'm going
Kansas.
back
You're
to back
eliminating
here.
somebody today.
So I'm going to
Or
go
tomorrow.
back to back here. I'm
Yep.
going to go with, I think it's crazy, but I'm going to go with Miami and geez, man, that's a rough
St.
go.
Pete.
Yeah, I'm going to go Miami and I'll go Arkansas.
Arkansas.
All right, I'll go Michigan.
I'll take Iowa.
How can you show your face down there now?
I'll take Iowa State.
That's fine. I'm shocking the world.
You have St. Pete's?
I don't have a choice.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so who's Beau, as the person that I would consider to be the most in the know here, whose groups do you rank the groups?
I mean, I think of all of the big now. The only if you could just take past history out, Kansas has the easiest road to the Final Four of all of the teams remaining.
Yes.
They've got to beat Providence. They've got to beat then Iowa State, who they've beaten already this year, and they got to beat Miami. Like that's nothing. They are more talented. They are better. They have more firepower. Now they could lose
Is
today to
Kansas
Providence
Kansas?
because Kansas is Kansas, and this is what they do. So that to me is, if you were to take that out, like if you were just doing this based on who would be favored, the Final Four would be Arizona, Gonzaga, probably UCLA, and Kansas would be the way that it would go if you were if you're doing it that way.
Those 4.
Yeah. So that if you were you put and you picked first. So that that's in play. I really like. I think your Z is pretty good with Arizona Nova because Nova is. I'd be shocked if they lost to Michigan, and Purdue if they're ever going to make it. This is the year, but Purdue's kind of like. I mean, they're not even Kansas, but like they can never get to the Final Four.
No.
They've never done it.
They're the lowest remaining seed in there.
Nick, you blew it, boy.
I blew it, huh?
Yeah,
I think Houston's legit. I think that they're going to make
that
it.
road
so.
is brutal, though. I mean, you're talking about you got to beat Zona and then you'd beat Nova probably just to get there. Carolina's an 8. I think UCLA takes care of them, but we'll see. That's the thing about this. Like everybody thought Kentucky.
Well, and you were good 3 days ago. Does 3 days change everything? It's amazing how it does sometimes.
Yeah, if I could. The one that was really tough for me on the snake back through was the 3 I was considering were Duke, Nova, and UCLA. Those are the 3 I was considering.
Bo,
at
I
that
just
point.
can't pick Duke. I'm sorry, I can't. It's against
Nick,
my religion.
Here's
I can't
here's
do
a
it.
rule from Uncle Bo, from your
Nick.
Uncle Bo. Never let your heart.
Sorry, Gibbs.
That's right.
Never let your heart dictate your betting.
That's a good point. That's
Never.
probably
That's
a
right.
fair bet. Yeah.
That's why I was happy, A, that you took Duke, and B, that's why I took Texas Tech.
I mean, Duke's got
It
the.
could-
t-
it
Duke-
could- it
I think
could
Duke's
come
going
to
to
an
lose. I think they'll lose, but they also have the talent to win the national title.
I agree.
So
If
they
can
have
get
a
rid of
kid
this
who's going to
Coach
be
K
picked.
farewell tour. They'd
Right.
be in great shape.
Banchero's going to go in the top 3 of the draft. He's as good as any player left in it. If you're doing it from that perspective, if you're saying like, all right, player X gets going and takes his team to a national title, Gonzaga would be 1 because they had Chet Holmgren and Drew Timme. Duke would probably be 2 with Banchero. And then Purdue with Jaden Ivey, he's going to go probably 3rd in the draft.
What about the kid from Arizona?
He's like a 10, like 10th.
Okay.
Arizona's a lot like Kansas. Kansas has got 2 first-round picks. Zona's got a couple first-round picks, but nobody that's like top 5. Going to be fun. Going to be fun.
Yeah, is this the year that we just get chalk, where the ones and the twos take care
You
of?
already got one
No.
down.
I was going to say
No. I mean, like in the Sweet 16. Now that we're done with now you're into the Sweet 16. Does this become chalk, or does this get turned on its head?
Yeah.
I don't think so. It'd be hard for me to imagine Gonzaga not in the Final Four. So much firepower. Arizona's got a tough one tonight with Houston. That'll be a great
Big game.
That's a great game.
When you go back and look,
Houston routed Illinois.
I feel like Houston. Yeah, it wasn't close. I watched every minute of it. Awful. I feel like the NCAA tournament, if they could have one back, that might be the one, and from a seeding standpoint.
Well, here's a great example. So if you're Kansas tonight, you're a 1, right? You're playing Providence as a 4. Houston's a 5. Those are 2 not like things.
No.
Those are 2 not like.
How did they
not
end
two
up?
like
How
things.
did they end up as a 5, given that they're 31-5?
Conference they play in? Because they undervalued they undervalued SMU, they undervalued Memphis. You saw what Memphis did to Gonzaga; it took them right to the wire.
Should have won.
Could have. Yeah, they took them. It took everything Gonzaga had to win that game. They were up 10 at half. So yeah, and I think another one that's wrongly seeded was UCLA.
Yeah.
UCLA is not a 4 seed.
Yeah. I mean, they
UCLA should have been
with
a
Akron
3
in the first round. Once they got through them,
UCLA
They
should have been
look
on the
good in
3
game 2.
line, man. Like UCLA is better than Wisconsin every day. They should have been on the 3 line. There's no reason for them to be on the 4 line. So yeah, sometimes they get these things wrong. Be good tonight though. All right, so we've got that locked in. What are we playing for? One of the sweatshirts that we're playing for from downstairs?
I'll get you a sweatshirt. Probably won't be that.
I feel like there's
I
just
believe
been
there
a
was a-
rift.
I believe there was a position coach that walked in here yesterday. No names, please.
What color?
That he doesn't own the sweatshirt.
He doesn't have one yet.
He's
We're on a
like,
mission.
He goes, what do we got to do to get this?
We're on a mission.
He's asking Zegura.
What are the available colors that you believe? Like what's down there? What's down there with the boss man? Like how many different shades are there from
I believe
color
there are
stand-
3. I believe there's a gray.
So there in terms of
There
hoodies,
is a black, and there is a l'orange.
a l'orange. So there is. We do not like. If I went down there, like let's say that I'm somebody who mattered, and I went down there and I said I want a white hoodie. Do we have white hoodies?
White. I have not seen a white with that.
If I
yet.
said I would like a brown hoodie,
I've not seen that. I've not seen that. Right.
how about a cream?
right now?
A crema.
Right now, the hoodie that you want is the l'orange.
Incorrect. The hoodie that I would want is the black.
It's not. It's no longer the bestowed upon hoodie, which is just a crazy thing, but it's not anymore.
I would have them
Because it's
inverted.
going to be, of course, but it is going to be shared with. There is going to be an opportunity for.
I understand.
Many
I'm just saying
to acquire
from a
that.
drafting standpoint.
Of course, it's number one. It's a very sad thing that this is that we've come. To
I
this
actually
part.
think sneakily, a cream would be amazing.
like the
Like the Cream City, Milwaukee. Are you
took the
kidding me?
words right out of my mouth. I've got one.
You
of those
said it,
hoodies.
boy.
It's a great hoodie.
That's it. That's the one you want. The other one that would be really good would be almost a musket brown. Like a dark as brown can be brown would be really nice.
I'd rather go that because anything light colored, I'm gonna screw it up.
You're not bootsy.
Have some
I
belief
kinda
in
am.
yourself. You're a man. You're in
your
your
hot
40s.
dog. You can navigate a hot dog from plate to mouth. You're not going to
TBD
be safe.
sometimes.
I don't know.
TBD. There was a reason today Banana Grande was covered up during breakfast and lunch.
Smart. You protect Banana Grande at all costs.
At all costs. At all costs. So much more to come. You're listening to Cleveland
Protect them
Browns
from a
Daily
great many things.
on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Preferred copier provider, your Cleveland Browns. They'll have all the X's and O's for your office. You give them a call at 216-485-2000 or visit ohiobusinessmachines.com. We asked the question earlier in the program, more recognizable outside of uniform/element, Mike Trout or John Rahm? 740 votes. Mike Trout, 50.3% of the vote. Jean Rahm, 49.7%.
Outrageous.
of the vote.
What
That
a
is
comeback.
insane.
What a poll, though.
What a poll. Could you get
Incredible
What could
polling.
you ever get 50-50
Nothing.
dead split? Because that's what
Nothing.
a couple of votes. That's the
Yeah,
difference.
It's a couple of votes. Yeah. It just went to 50.1 to 49.9 with 5 more votes just came in. So I think Rahm's surging on you being upset.
We should
from
be
your
in
people.
what
What do you got, Gibbe?
We should be in
according to
Vegas.
in-house, and again, we had multiple
What a
people
line.
vote, but they didn't mark it down. It doesn't count if it's not marked.
All right.
4 people knew who Mike Trout was. 2 did not.
40.
John
No,
Rahm.
100 did not.
3 knew who John Rahm was. 3 did not.
100 did not.
All right.
They didn't do it.
There you go. There you go.
There it
it's
is.
right now with 760 votes, 50.1% Trout, 49.9 Rahm.
All right.
We have never done anything. We'll never top this.
And it's incredible. One guy is a Spaniard who's played
Yeah.
golf in the United States for really only a handful of years. The other is the
best
face of
consensus-
America's pastime.
Quote,
Correct.
face.
Yeah. Well, not past time.
Past.
Next level's next. We're back tomorrow. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.